It's time for another spooky story. I used to go to the cafe with my husband a lot and read witchy books and whatnot. And so one time we went to one of our favorite cafes here in LA, and I decided I wanted to get another drink. So I go to wait in line, and as I'm waiting in line in this pretty crowded cafe, I get this strange feeling that there's like a presence in this location. So I decide, okay, well, I'll open myself up and see what I feel, hear, see, whatever. So I kind of stand there and I allow whatever to come through. And I see this one gentleman sitting at a table by himself on his laptop working. It's like he's facing away from me, so I can only see his back. And standing over him, in my mind's eye, I see this little old lady holding onto his shoulders, hunching over him, and kind of judging him and like kind of telling him what to do. Like I was picking up that it was like this old woman, this aunt or something. And so I was like, oh, that's really strange. I wonder why she's there. She's like attached to this guy. So I was like, I'm gonna try to dig around and find out and see, you know, who she is. So I start to try to pry, and as soon as I do, this old woman turns her head real quick and looks at me and glares. And I got this feeling and this kind of word in my head of like, you're being nosy. This old lady ghost essentially told me, back off, you're being nosy. You're being very rude right now. This is none of your business. So I was like, oh my gosh, what the hell? So I just kind of closed myself off immediately, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Like, you're right. None of my business. So I get my drink and I go back to my husband, who is sitting where we were at. And I tell him, because he sees a lot of spirits and stuff. So I tell him, hey, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give you any more information. I just want you to open up to whatever's here. And he got real suspicious and he's like, why? And I said, don't worry about it. And he sits there, and after a moment he goes, oh my gosh. And I was like, what? And he's like, there's this guy on the computer over here, and there's this really tall, creepy, dark, shadowy thing hunching over him, and it's got its hands on his shoulders, and it's like really intimidating and on top of him, and it's really creepy. And I lost it because I was like, you just confirmed what I saw and what I experienced in line. I hadn't told him a single thing. That's my story on how I sensed a spirit at a cafe, and my husband totally confirmed it for me.